Hello and assalamu alaikum. I hope you're doing well. I was unable to record the video on my laptop because of some default mechanism which was wrong with the laptop, which is why I'm recording on the phone. I hope it's loud and clear. I'm trying my best to be as audible as I can. So let's begin. The topic under discussion here today is pancreatic cyst, which is what I will be speaking about for the next few minutes, so please bear along. Please also note that the slides I prepared for this topic are very brief, which is mainly because of the reason that these slides are supposed to be shared by the students for the exam. So I wanted as brief information as possible I could fit in these so that it's easier for the students to study for the exam. However, I will be explaining each and everything what is inside of these slides, so please listen to the end of the video to figure out and understand exactly what a pancreatic cyst is. So let's begin. Pancreatic cyst. For this, you need to know what really is pancreas, where it exists in the body, what does it really do. Let me show you here. Okay, so this is what exactly the pancreas is. It is behind the stomach, anatomically inside the body. Posterior is the stomach, anterior is the pancreas. What does it do? It produces two hormones which are very, very important in the body, namely insulin and glucagon. Insulin lowers the blood sugar, whereas glucagon raises the blood sugar. These are extremely important two hormones, and apart from producing hormones, it also produces enzymes like amylase, lipase, which basically break down carbohydrates and fat, which are essential metabolites for the body, without what a person cannot exist. This is what it looks like. These are fluid-filled sacs. This yellow, these projections that you see right here. This is the head, the neck, the body, and the tail. All right. Now, after you know what pancreas is and what does it do in the body, let me show you the presentation here so it's easier for us. Now, what are pancreatic cysts? They are sac-like pockets, as I showed you, the yellow small pockets of fluid or in your pancreas. The pancreas, large organ, it is one of the basic organs because it produces two essential hormones and releases number of enzymes which are essential for the human body to function. It helps digest the food. Amylase and lipase, of course, helps us digest the food. Pancreatic cyst. Now, the topic here is not pancreas, it's pancreatic cyst. For that, you need to know everything. What is a cyst? How is it produced in the body? For this, you will get to know in the next few minutes. Now, what's important for us to know is that pancreatic cysts are very asymptomatic, and usually they do not cause any harm in the body unless they become cancerous. We will get to know into the detail in a while, but to give an overview of this, what I really am trying to say here is that pancreatic cysts are asymptomatic. They usually possess no symptoms, that is, they are usually present in the body and they have no harm, they produce no harm. It's all right for them to exist over there. It's literally just a cyst. Now, for this, you need to figure out the size of the cyst and the location, the exact location on which part of the pancreas is it present. It's typically found during imaging testing for another problem. Why? Because since it does not have a primarily it does not produce any symptom, we never figure out if there's a cyst present on the pancreas. Which imaging testing is it talking about? MRI, CT scan, not CT scan, MRIs, X-rays, or you can also do some kind of biopsy. What is a biopsy? When the physician takes a number of tissue or a number of cells from the body, they take it out and then they send it in for analyzing and examining if these are cancerous cells or not. That's called a biopsy. So you can also figure out if you have a pancreatic cyst or not by doing biopsy, which is a very, very common practice here in Pakistan also. Other than that, you can do CT scan, not CT scan, you can do MRIs, X-rays. Now, many pancreatic cysts are small and benign, of course, because they have no symptoms. They're just present there in the body and they usually cause no harm until or unless they become cancerous, which means it will eventually grow into size. It will take over other cells' DNA. Our immunity will get weak, very weak. There are many symptoms if it becomes cancerous, but some cysts become large and cause symptoms, and others are cancerous or precancerous. Now, what does the word precancerous really mean? Let me explain that to you. Precancerous is a stage when the cells are multiplying in a large amount of manner, but they do not yet have the ability to hijack the mechanism of the cell. They are multiplying in number, a huge number, but they are unable to hijack the ability of other cells to mutate. This is what precancerous means. But precancerous cells usually turn into cancers in no amount of time, so we have to be very, very careful looking out for that. Now let's go for the symptoms. The symptoms of pancreatic cyst depend upon their size and the location, that is where it's present on the pancreas, because pancreas, as I showed you, it's a big duct with the mouth and the tail. Now every part of that pancreas is dependent upon what kind of the pancreatic cyst it is, what symptoms will it cause, which exactly part is it producing damage to. Small, less than 2 centimeters, usually it's 1 centimeter, but in the Robbins pathology book it said 2 centimeters, that's why I'm quoting that number. But usually small cyst, 1 centimeter cyst, usually cause no symptoms. Large pancreatic cyst can cause abdominal pain and back pain, presumably by exerting pressure on the surrounding tissues and nerve. It causes jaundice, cyst, sepsis. Sepsis is blood poisoning. These are the common symptoms which will be produced if the cyst is large enough to cause them. Otherwise, if it's small, no big deal. If cyst becomes infected, it may result in fever, chills, and sepsis. Infected, it will become inflammation will start, and as we know the entire mechanism of inflammation, pain, fever, it will become analgesic. It will recruit all the neutrophils, all the white blood cells to the site. It will cause redness, but of course it's internal, so we cannot see it yet. But of course fever is one of the main reasons what it will cause. If a cyst becomes malignant, what does the word malignant really mean? Oh god, where did I get rid of that? Okay, if the cyst becomes malignant and benign and begins to invade the surrounding. Okay, malignant is when the cyst okay, let me tell you. Cyst can be of two types, benign or malignant. Benign is the precancerous cyst I was speaking about earlier, whereas malignant is the cyst which will move on to other cells. It will grow inside and it will occupy more space. It will become larger. Eventually it will start taking over the entire body. That is what malignant is. Benign is when it will stay. If it's present here, it will stay here. Malignant, it's present here but will go on and go on. This is what malignant, and the difference between malignant and benign. Begins to invade the surrounding tissues. It may leave the same type of pain as pancreatic cancer, pain that usually is content and felt in the back and abdomen. Why? Because it's producing the pressure on the back and abdomen. That is why this is the main symptom of a pancreatic cyst. There are two major types of pancreatic, as I told you, pseudocyst and true cyst. Pseudo, of course, the word pseudo means fake, unreal. So that is just inflammation. But true cysts are non-inflammatory, which will, of course, it can turn into potential cancerous cyst. Inflammatory cysts are benign, of course, whereas non-inflammatory cysts can be benign, rarely ever precancerous or cancerous. This is exactly just what I was explaining to you a while ago. Diagnosis. There usually, just like I said, they're asymptomatic, no symptoms are usually shown. However, if they become cancerous, many symptoms can be shown, which will be later discussed in the video. Ultrasound, CT, and MRI are the most commonly used imaging modalities, along with the biopsy, which is the taking out of cells of the body and giving it for the examining of the cell. And please note that usually pancreatic cysts are not a big deal unless they are cancerous. Treatment, of course, you need to do some kind of surgery to remove the entire. If it's benign, depends now if the cyst is benign. If it's cancerous, I will show that the imaging to you in a while. This slide right here is what it's all about, but it exactly depends upon where it is. If it's benign, if it's malignant, it should be removed ASAP, which is as soon as possible. It should be removed. Benign is, it could also be done, laser can also be done, other imaging, other medicines you can also provide to kill it. But usually if it's cancerous, we opt for surgery, which is just cutting out the entire part of that. Also note that a person can also live, a study shows that a person can live without its half pancreas. For example, let me show you. Now these are the classification of pancreatic cysts. These are the different types of cysts. I will explain that to you in a while. But let me say, for example, you have a pseudocyst right here. So what in a surgery, what we'll do is that we'll cut out this part of the cyst, which we'll cut out this part. Let's see, we'll cut out this part, and the person will be able to, of course, survive with this part. For example, if this part is cut, this is what is left inside the body, right? So the person is able to survive with that. Of course, you if the chance of becoming diabetic becomes very they increase in number. Also, you need to give supplements. Then now depends after surgery, post-op surgery, you have to see what the symptoms are coming out. According to that, you will give it out. But it's worth of noticing that a person can survive even a person can survive even with half of the pancreas inside of the body. For example, this part becomes cancerous, you cut it out. This part becomes cancerous, you cut it out. So even with half of this, a person can survive. Okay, now this is what exactly it looks like. These are I'll send you a presentation also, but please note right here. This is the classification of pancreatic cyst. This is the main topic. Serocystodoma, this is what it looks like. I'll show you a better picture. Cystic endocrine tumor, side branch and regular papillary, mucinous neoplasm, mucinous cystic neoplasm, this is the main duct, which is the this part right here. So this is the classification of the cyst. Now let me show you here. I did not want to include this in the slides because I did not want to make it complex, but this is what I found, and I found this is a clear picture of that image found in the Robbins book of pathology. These are the 4 types of classification of pancreatic cysts. Now let's go. All right, this is serocystodoma. These are benign but can grow, but usually they are benign. 3 morphological pattern: polycystic, more than one cystic, honeycomb-like appearance. This is what it looks like, and oligocystic. Then you have the mucinous. This is what it looks like when you do the imaging. This is what the image you get. So this is how you classify that there is a cyst present inside of the body. These are called mucin-producing epithelium. Mucin is I'm not sure what this is, but this is the epithelium which shows a cyst is present and is not working fine. The pathology is right here. This is what is seen in the imaging. This is another type of classification, and this is how it's shown right here, as you can see. Evaluation. Okay, I think that's enough. If you have more questions, please let me know. I will be more than happy to answer. And thank you.